This is the Automotive Blockchain channel. Welcome back to all those who have subscribed, and definitely a love dub goes out to you for subscribing. I do appreciate every single one of you. Also, anyone who is new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Go ahead, hop in the passenger hop in the passenger seat with all of the other subscribers and click that subscribe. Also click the like button and feel free to share this video with anyone who you think may be interested. So we are going to go ahead and get into this. Today we are going to be talking about MOBI, and as I get into this, please understand this video is not any type of financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am someone that is enthusiastic about the automotive industry and the blockchain crypto industry as well. That includes DLT for all you people who are extra meticulous. So let's go ahead and get into this. Today we're going to be talking about a consortium, and that is MOBI. I've done videos on MOBI before, but for those of you who are new, MOBI is the Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative. It is a consortium of many companies. And just in case you were wondering who some of those many companies are, over here on their website in their directory, you can see companies such as the World Economic Forum, USAA, Car Wallet. You see Semi, you see Ripple, you see Route 1. Notice how it says Ripple. It does not say XRP, it says Ripple. Route 1, Riddling Code, R3, SAE International, on and on and on. You can see a lot of them on here. The Ocean Protocol, IOTA Foundation, etc. So you can see there are a lot of people in the community for MOBI. Now, going over into the article, the one thing I wanted to just give you a quick update on, and that is the MOBI announces the first electric vehicle grid integration standard. It is self-describing the first electric vehicle grid integration standard on blockchain in collaboration with Honda, PG&E, GM, among others. And keep in mind, this is a consortium, so as I go into this, you'll realize that they're setting the standards for what the vehicle integration is going to be in the various grid throughout the country, world, etc. And keep in mind, this is just one consortium. There are a number of other entities out there that are looking to develop standards, all right? So EVGI, the working group, released its first technical design specifications, which covers the system designs and data schemas required for 3 core use cases areas. And what are those 3 core use case areas? Vehicle to grid integration is number 1. Tokenized carbon credits is number 2, and peer-to-peer applications is number 3. So let's break these things on down real quick. Vehicle to grid integration, okay, that's V2G. It's self-explanatory. Vehicle to grid is basically saying, hey, you have an electric vehicle, and the goal with that is if there are greater power demands, greater energy demands in that city, then they're going to say, hey, we have a bunch of cars that are currently plugged in. We're going to withdraw the power from those vehicles and put them where the demand is in the system. So that is one way they do that. Now, some of you may be thinking, wait a minute, what if I need to hop in my car and go somewhere? I know, I thought about that too. You'll be sitting there in need of going somewhere because, I don't know, there's maybe a blackout, and you realize that you are getting all your stuff together because you want to go to grandma's because there's a rolling brownout or whatever it is, and you want to just get out of the city. Well, now you realize that you can't because your car is being drained of power from the system. So I understand that is a thing that some of you may be thinking of. I was thinking about it too. However, it does benefit the grid system. If there is power needed in certain areas, they can withdraw that power. Now, that being said, I believe that there is talks with some of these standards that if they are pulling power from your vehicle, specifically at your private property, that then you would also be paid for that as well. Now, that said, there are those areas where if you are plugged in, hypothetically, in this case, and keep in mind, this is all hypothetical, standards are being made, laws not being completely drawn up, so this is just some hypotheticals, implications of how things could play out. So if you were in a public area, and let's say, for instance, using a public charging station, such as PG&E would have around a number of cities, then in that particular case, they may draw the power out of your car that was put in there, and you may just be reimbursed for that particular credit or for that particular power that you were drawing from the system to begin with. Or in that particular case, they would just draw the power and you would not get charged a thing. So that kind of gives you an idea. It's kind of like being reimbursed on a toll because they realized the road was crappy. So that would be the vehicle grid integration for you. All right, now what about the tokenized carbon credits? This becomes a little tricky in my book. for a number of different reasons. And with the tokenized carbon credits, I know all these are pretty much, you can kind of figure out the definition just by reading it. But the TCC, the tokenized carbon credits, really are there for the corporations. And they're built in there as a kind of like a license or a permit that allows a company to hold a certain amount of carbon dioxide or emit a certain amount of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases. And I believe, and some of you may be able to correct me on this, but I believe it's based off of 1 ton of carbon dioxide equals 1 carbon credit. I think that is the current standard that is out there. That, repeat, 1 ton of carbon dioxide or cubic ton of carbon dioxide is equivalent to 1 carbon credit. And companies are incentivized in order to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases. It's kind of like a double incentive. Then they'll get additional carbon credits, which can be, for tax benefits, etc. So that is how some of these companies can make money. Now, the third one is an interesting one, and that is the peer-to-peer. I like this one, and I'm going to get in this real quick. Peer-to-peer is exactly what it is. So you have an electric vehicle, I have an electric vehicle, and I just happen to be the dumb one that let my battery go dead driving around the city doing, let's say, shop drops. So in doing that, you would then be able to pull up next to me and we would exchange, let's say, IOTA from vehicle to vehicle, and then that would be, your charge would be able to help partially charge mine. So it's kind of like doing a jump of a battery, but in this case, your electric vehicle is charging my electric vehicle. But there's another twist to this that I kind of like, and that is through the company called EDAG. I've mentioned EDAG in a couple of other videos. I really, really like their CityBot technology. And as you can see here in the video, it talks about, or it shows you here in this video, on how these city bots can go do a number of different things in the city or the airport. In this particular case for peer-to-peer, I kind of speculated that here would be a great idea. So let's say, for instance, you know that you need to be driving around throughout the day and you haven't done a full charge overnight for whatever reason. So you stop, you're doing a couple of things, let's say at the courthouse because you're an attorney, or you're just at the construction site. But you can then dial up the let's say one of these CityBot type vehicles, these modules, and then they would be able to drive over, charge your vehicle up, exchange for a little IOTA, so to speak, and then drive back. So while you're conducting your business at the construction site or at the courthouse or whatever, then you would then be able then to have a fully charged vehicle when you're done. I think that sounds freaking awesome, quite frankly. I really do. It's a great idea. I don't know, obviously, if EDAG is planning this, if that's part of what their infrastructure, what they're looking at. I think it's well within their bounds of what they could do. But anyway, that is what the peer-to-peer side is. So let's go ahead and summarize this video, this article up real quick. And they're doing this. So MOBI's EVGI working group is chaired by Honda, General Motors, with the support of Accenture, CP Chain, IBM, and IOTA Foundation. Yes, IBM and IOTA Foundation. And in that, you have to keep in mind that this is not about a specific DLT or blockchain technology. This is about developing the standards, as they say down here. So today's energy markets are undergoing a massive transition from centralized power generation and big power plants. And it goes on in telling you why that is the case. So the goal is to enable a scalable, user-centric energy communities. MOBI's EVGI standards enables a set of core network data services that will provide significant value to the electric vehicle owners. Lastly, MOBI hopes that applications enabled by this standard will ultimately help lower carbon emissions, improve road safety, reduce traffic congestion, and support a host of other socially and environmentally beneficial outcomes. So they're saying, hey, we have a problem, and this is how we can potentially solve it with developing these standards. All right, everyone, let me know, and go ahead and let me know what you think of this video. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.